Hello again, back with a new book to share. This is one that I recently posted on my Instagram. I'm finally getting around to doing the video. Can't get in my craft room properly at the moment because it's a bit of a dumping ground for my daughter's boxes because they're both moving out. So this is the first chance I've had to do this, and hoping the lighting's better here. This is actually my hob in my kitchen with the lights from the extractor fan above, and I think it actually works out the best place I've tried so far to do this. So I will just get on and go through the book. Each of the books I've got, this is the first of 3 books that I've managed to complete over the last wee while, and each of them will come with a little pile of envelopes which I'll go through after the book. So this one is one of the, I had 2 left of the Amity Bloom bases I'd made, and it seemed silly not to finish them when they were partially made, so I just got on and did that, and they're both quite pink. So this is the first one of 3. 2 of them are Amity Bloom base, and the other one is one I've built myself, and it's a hardcover with fabric and stuff. So but I'll hopefully get the 2 of them done in videos over the next couple of weeks at some point. So the fabric that I've used throughout this book was an old scarf that had different panels with this crochet down the middle. So I just used what was left of the scarf as the tie, and I thought it was quite nice. And I've used a necklace with these lovely faceted beads that are glass, and they're like have a sort of smokiness to them. And I thought they would go well with this kind of pink. And the necklace came with all these different sized beads, so they're all throughout this one, plus that is a vintage chandelier piece as well. I think there's 2 of them maybe in this book. I'm forgetting what's in what book because this is, I made 3 roughly all at the same time. I think they're all pink, so I was making bits that ended up throughout all of them. So we'll just get on with this. So it's nice and small. I like the smaller size, and but there's quite a lot in here. So the front cover is some glass beads, some little pearls, and this is part of an old bracelet, but the colours match perfectly. And then this is just layered various different vintage laces and some bridal tulle. It's the really nice soft stuff. And on the inside I've made a little envelope which just has some vintage tickets in it. And I've done a decoupage napkin throughout, which is this blossom one. So again, it matched really nice. I finally managed to crack the rusting, I think. I've ended up with a really nice effect on the batch that I did. Pop that there. And in here we have a wee belly band where I've the way this little cluster, I make all my clusters and then stick them into the book. So I hand stitch them all and then they're glued in with the Fabri-Tac glue. But when I did this, I ended up with this wee tuck here, which is just perfect for a little card there. I made sort of 2 bookmark type tags for here, and they just fit nice in the belly band. And again, I've used the same bead that I've used throughout this book. I like the eclectic mix of bits, but I also like the colours and maybe the beads and things to match and the fabric. So it's trying to get the balance of both. So in here we've got another wee tuck here, and this is some vintage lace that I think came off Bloomers, because when I got it, it was a perfect circle that I had to cut up. So I think it was just chopped off some Bloomers. And we've got a rusted pin here with another bead. And then we've got a wee tuck here. Some journaling bits and pieces. And in here we've got a little pocket and a tag. And then another clip here with a journaling card. All these are backed onto some form of vintage notepaper or ledger. And then I've got a tea bag that I've just decorated with wee scraps of lace. And then here we've got a wee flip out here. Just check that stays in frame when I do that. And there's, oops, there's just a little tuck here. And then some journaling space. This is a vintage check stub from 1938. And this is another one from 1919. So these are authentic vintage ones. And then we've got two wee pockets at the back here. And then I've just clipped one of these really nice vintage letters. I think this is a ruby and pearl one, and I've put it onto the newsprint paper, which does give a really nice old feel. So then over here, we've got just like a little folder. It's the first part, and there's a wee pocket here. And there's like a couple of ruffles throughout this one, which is similar bits of the same vintage crochet and vintage lace and things. And then I don't know if you can see them properly, but these are all little glass beads that I've stitched in. And then in here, there's two little tucks here. And I've used, this is a ruby and pearl kit where it's just bits of old paintings, and they're just so pretty, and the colours match perfectly for what I was going for in this book. And then here, this is a vintage letter envelope I had, and it actually got stuck in the box I was storing all these letters. It got stuck like this, and I really liked it, so I've just left it and I put it in the book with the fold in it that had ended up in it when it was in the box, so I quite like that. Happy accident. And then on this side we've got, this is just some, I think it's tracing paper, but it's quite thick, so it's like a vellum that I've just printed onto. And there's plenty of journaling space in here, and I've just put the odd butterfly or stamping in so that there is some journaling space. And then we've got a wee pocket here. Again, this is from the same kit, just little bits of old paintings. And I've backed them all onto various watercolour papers or some old card I had. And another one here. So these are all my paper clips in this book are rusted. And there's another one of these vintage chandelier pieces. And on this side, we've got, this is a Tracy Fox envelope, and then here I've popped, it's a vintage, I think it's a paying in slip of some description. I got an old book that hadn't been written in, and the staples were rusted, so they've left this lovely effect on the paper. Oops, make sure it's flat. And again, I've used an image from that kit again. More of the napkin. And this is just a decorated pocket where I put another little journaling card. I've used these flowers throughout. These are Tim Holtz. And this little book, I've used this before in some of my other journals, and this is from a Scottish dancing book. So this is the people, so it's telling you where you're supposed to stand, and this is the instructions for Lady Jeans Murray's rant, and it's a Strathspey. So I thought that was kind of cute. I've got a wee guest check here, which all I've done is tea dye it. And another little, just a little journaling spot there. And just some tracing paper that I've done the decoupage on with a little cluster here. And that's just a Tim Holtz card. These are really pretty. I think this is from the newer pack, and they're very pretty. And then we've got another little spot to journal there. And I've popped another one of those beads on there. Another wee butterfly. And then another wee envelope here. with another one of the Tim Holtz cards in there. Another little tuck here. And then on this is the back of this signature, and I've just made a tracing paper, but it's more like vellum because it's very thick, and I just made a pocket there that I printed on and popped that in there with another cluster and another one of these. And then this is a old envelope with another wee card in there, and then this is a fabric page where I've just pinned some bits of crochet that somebody can use in here. Then we've got a wee pocket here and another wee pocket at the back. These images are just so pretty. I think I've used these in one of my other books as well that's coming. And then here I've just made a wee tuck, just a wee envelope. And then another wee pocket here. And then there is another pocket in here as well. And I've done some old checks, no, that way, on the tracing paper, because they've just got such a nice crinkle effect. If you can hear that clicking, it's my, I've got an electronic cat flap that works with my cat's chips, and they're coming in and out because I decided to do a video in the kitchen. So there we go. That is the little book, and I think this one has a home. If it doesn't, I'll put it in my shop when this video goes live. So but I think it does. But if the person changes their mind, it will be in my shop when this goes live. So I've done this little bundle of envelopes to go with it, where I've made just a little fabric tag and then backed onto this really nice marbled card. And again, I've used all of these images from the same kit on the envelopes. So I've just put I've got quite a lot of bits and pieces that I thought I would start adding to my journals like this, just because I've got so many little bits and pieces that I've collected over the years that I'll never manage to use myself. So I thought if I start incorporating little bundles with each book, it's just bits and pieces that the person ending up with a book can use themselves. So these are some vintage playing cards. These are some vintage, I think this one's Campbell's, and this is Hershey's. Just various bits and pieces I've picked up in charity shops or on eBay. And then in this one, I've again just popped, these are some vintage mini playing cards. And then this is a library card. And these tea-dye lovely. This is from a Happy Families game. It's a vintage recipe. And then some, these are these little observer books, and they're perfect for a little journal like this one. I'm just loving these rusted bits and pieces that I've managed to do. And then in this one, I've put more of, this is a vintage check stub from 1909, and various little vintage book pages as well. That one is a French language book, and then a little bit of music. And then in the big one, I think I put some vintage notepaper and some checks that I've got one. So these aren't that old, but the Tea Dye Lovely, as you can see. And then that goes with it as well. They just fitted in this lovely big envelope really well. And these are all, obviously you can see these are all decorated with the same type images. And like I say, this little bundle will come with this book. So there we go. That is my latest little book. Hope you liked it. And I'm helping my daughters move over the next wee while, and then I will hopefully be back after that with the other two books. I wonder if I could get another video done just now. I don't know. I'll see. But I'll definitely get this one up as soon as I can. And yeah, hope you like it. And thank you very much for watching. It was a wee bit of a rushed one, but I thought if I don't get it done now, in between doing a few things, it might be a little while before I get a chance to. So yeah, so there we go. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.